Okay, so let's get started. Module 1. Instagram growth is a system. You're not using it. If you follow this system, I guarantee you will grow real organic following, making more money from your account, getting brand deals, whatever your goal is. What I'd like you to do as well is, as I'm talking through this, quickly pause the video just for 1 second, read everything that's on the slide, and then press play again, because I'm not going to be talking just through what's on the slide. I'm going to be expanding it, adding in client testimonials and things that I've done with other people as well at the same time. So let's move on to the first one, which is watch time beats likes. I'm going to let you pause it and then we can go again. Many people on Instagram, they just count the amount of likes and they class that as a successful post or not. But this is really not what Instagram is looking at. And even the Instagram CEO mentioned personally that what they look at, whether a reel is good or not and worth pushing to more people, is the average watch time. So right now, you know, if you want to pause this video or after it, go to your metrics and have a look at your last 5 posts insights and see what their watch time was. Because if it's below 50%, it is weak. You're going to struggle to get that post to the rest of your followers and also onto the explore page as well. If you're getting 50 to 70, 80%, then you're doing really well. That is decent. You have got a good chance of getting on the explore page. And then you've got 80% plus. Pretty much all of the posts I see with 80% or more average watch time will automatically be catapulted onto the explore page, which means more followers and also more engagement for your posts as well. So a few things that you can do to improve this as well. Number 1, we'll get to this a little bit after, but is your hook. If your hook isn't good enough, then people are just going to be scrolling past straight away. One thing is maybe your videos are slightly too long. You know, you're putting a minute video when you could actually say everything within 30 seconds. So if you're hitting the 50 to 80% margin, then you know people are dropping off at the end. So it's a really good idea to reduce the time on them reels. Post the same reel again. You don't need to make a new one. Just this time, cut it up a little bit and only put the most important parts in there. And then you'll see when you repost that again, it might go from 50 to 80% watch time. So play around with the metrics, play around with your content, but you have to look at every single post that you do and you'll find out what's working. Any post that gets over 50%, I would look to be replicating that and find how you can make more posts that are similar, because it's proven to the algorithm and also to your followers that that's what they like. If you're getting anything less than 50%, mainly it's down to hooks. Really, you're just boring at the start of the video, and I can't express this enough. I will use this quite a lot throughout the course, but don't be boring. Have a look at the best people in the industry. They've got energy when they're talking about a certain topic as well. And if you're not too good at hooks or you're not too good at doing the reels or whatever, practice. Get your phone out and go again and again and again until you get confident with it and you can just talk straight off the bat and be able to have an exciting reel ready to post. So as mentioned, if you are posting 60-second reels and you're only getting about 50% watch time, cut that down to 30 seconds and see how you get on. If you're posting 30 seconds, then cut that down to 15 seconds. You can do the math to figure out what's working or not. Any posts that are getting 80% plus, these are the ones you want to be focusing on. You want to be making more content, pretty much exactly the same as the ones that you made already, and definitely be reposting as well. I'll talk about this later on, but repost the best content that you have. So as I said, watch time is the one of, if not the most important thing that Instagram are looking at. So make sure whenever you're posting that you need to be hitting these numbers. If you're not, you need to make a change. Right, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is grab their attention. So this is going into the hooks and also what I was talking about being boring at the start. You've got 1 to 5 seconds before people either decide to watch your reel or skip. So if people are skipping past, this is showing Instagram that your content is boring, and they don't want their platform saturated with boring content. And this is why the algorithms push the best content. So focus on that first 1 to 5 seconds. If you're not getting more than a 50 to 60, 70% average watch time, focus on the hooks, play around with it a little bit, find a couple of people in your industry that are doing great and use exactly what they are doing, because they have got thousands, millions to pump into content and research. You haven't. Don't reinvent the wheel. Figure out what they are doing and then use it on your profile as well. And as you can see here is why do you need to grab their attention, at the start? When you're opening, you need to give people a reason to watch the video. People's time is precious. So if you're not giving them a reason to watch it, or they just don't think that it's going to be any good, psychology in the brain nowadays just makes them skip straight past. So catch their attention straight away. And if you do that, you will see your watch time go much, much higher. As it said, put in a hook early on. Make sure that's a very interesting hook as well. Text hooks, you can also have them as well. They do work really well on it. So even if you might not be talking straight away on the reel, make sure you've got a text overlay so people understand what the reel is going to be about. You do these small little things and you will see a much higher average watch time. Warming up before posting. This is so important, not just for your post, but generally how you interact with your followers as well. Just like when you go to the gym, if you just walk in and you start lifting heavy weights or you're trying to run 10,000 miles, you're going to burn out very fast and you're going to hurt the body. This is exactly the same with social media as well. Don't expect that when you post that all your followers are instantly going to see it. This is an old trick, but it still works all the time. As you can see here, 10, 15, 20 minutes before you're going to post, go through your feed, like and comment on as many people who are also following you. Don't just go for huge companies with profiles, millions of followers, because they're not going to see it. But like, comment, even DM as well. Just engage with as many posts from people who follow you or in your rough niche as well. And by doing that, you're going to be getting notifications on all of these people's phones. So once they have a notification, they're going to say, oh, Jimmy just liked your post. Oh, Jimmy just commented on your post. They're going to go and click the post. And then more than likely, they're going to go to your profile as well, see that you've just posted. And then they're more likely to give you a like, give you a comment, which helps your whole account and that post then get more engagement and boost on to the explore page as well. So engage with your followers. They get the notifications, they go to your account to check it out, then you get more post engagement, and then you get onto the algorithm. But by doing this as well, it maintains that you keep a good connection with these people online. The more that you engage with your followers and your following, the more they're going to engage with you. So if you just post every now and then and you don't really speak to anyone, you don't like anyone's content or comment, don't expect them to give you the love back. Think of it in like a friendship. If you're in a friendship and a friend is always taking, and the friend never gives anything back to you, expect to lose that friendship. And on Instagram in terms, you'll lose that follower, and then you've lost a possible lead and a possible client. Because also, if somebody goes to your profile, it shows Instagram as well that person is interested in what you have. So automatically when you post, your post or reel will be higher up their feed, so they'll see it anyway. So even if they don't initially engage with your first post, they're actually going to start seeing more of your content that you put out there as well. So it's super important to engage with as many posts as possible. I like to do it personally just before you're going to post, so you can kind of click the two habits together, and it makes it slightly easier as well. Post before peak times. Now, this can vary in all different countries, but the main way you're going to figure out when to post and when's a good time is go straight in. As you can see here on the PDF, that in your statistics and your stats, your insights, you'll be able to see when your following are online. And this is a really important thing as well, because even though you might live in the States, most of your following might be in Europe, for example. So you're posting at 6 o'clock your time, thinking that's the best time to post. but most people in Europe are either going to bed, so you're not getting that engagement that you deserve. So check your insights to make sure that you're posting at the right times. I personally always find that around about 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock are the best times, but every profile is different, okay? Over like a 30-day period, you'll be able to track what posts are working well and what didn't, what times. Play around with the times. You might find that posting at 8 o'clock at night is the best thing for your profile. Then go with that. It might not be the peak time of your followers, but that's when your followers necessarily interacting with your posts. So make sure that you have a look at all the stats, try different posting times, but definitely have a look at when your followers are online. Otherwise, you could be posting when they're in bed. And really, you've got a 20 to 30-minute window when you post to start getting them initial likes, comments, etc., engagement. And then Instagram are going to push you onto the explore page. I do see posts go boom after 7 days or 2 weeks, but this is normally when that post has been shared in a big WhatsApp group, in a big community, and then it starts to get traction. But really, if you find the right times to post, you'll get at least a 10 or 20% increase in engagement on each one of them posts. So this one is one of my personal favorites, and where it says like 500% increase your story interactions, trust me, this is doable. A lot of the talks and speeches that I've done in the past, this is one of the main things that I push across to everyone who attends. And the amount of messages that I get back of people saying it's insane about they went from 100, 200 story views up to 1,000 in the space of a week. And it's all about understanding the algorithm, understanding how Instagram then pushes your content. So, and it's all to do with interactions. You want people interacting with as many things as possible, not just stories. You know, this is also posts, anywhere, DMs. So use the stories to trigger that interaction. And when somebody says yes or no on a poll, when you do post, your posts are going to be much, much higher up their feed, because their interaction on your profile has shown Instagram that that person is interested in your content and what you are doing. But make it super easy for them as well. As you can see here, yes or no questions. One of them I like to do, like, you know, are you going on holiday this year? Yes or no. Do you train in the gym? Yes or no. Like anything to do with that, even though it may seem like the most basic thing in the world, if that person says yes or that person says no, your stories will go further up their feed, and also your posts will as well. So play around with that. Emojis, sliders, anything that you can do in your stories to get an interaction is going to be very, very beneficial to your social media growth. Okay. And think outside the box. Like if you're an influencer or whatever you want to do, I personally like to put quite edgy things. You know, so if you put something that's maybe going to trigger someone, that's definitely going to get an interaction. And Instagram doesn't really differentiate between someone who doesn't like it and someone who does. As long as they're interacting with it, they class that as the person is enjoying your content, and then they're going to push it as well. Humor can be great as well. You know, you can do anything. If it's a football team, Manchester United or Liverpool, for example, and then people are like, oh, you know, Manchester United. And the more people that click, the better it is for your engagement. So before posting stories, sit down and have a think in terms of what you can post to get the most engagement from these people as well, and, you know, your followers. Be very careful not to post 10 stories. Trust me, like, if somebody goes on, like, gets to your profile, you know, going through the stories, and they can see there's got 10 slides, a lot of people will just swipe. I like to keep it between 3 and 5, really, but I'll post them throughout the day. Don't just whack 5 stories on or throw up 10 stories at the same time. Be clever about it. Add one, an hour later, add another one, an hour later, add another one. Because if you add an initial story and it's got a poll or anything like that on it, getting people clicking, then when you post the second story, you're pretty much guaranteed to be very high up their feed as well. So you're going to get more interaction on that second story as well. You do that on a daily basis, trust me, you will be able to 500% increase your engagement on the stories. And then this will convert into more engagement on your posts. This is a super important one. So make a note about this. And if you put this into practice straight after this lesson, I guarantee in a couple of days' time, you'll be messaging me saying, oh my God, this is insane. Pass the 20% test. Now, you're probably not going to understand what this means, but this was brought in back in 2020, more or less, when Instagram wanted to combat and go against fake followers on people's account. So when you post, Instagram actually only showed that post or reel to about 20 to 30% of your followers initially. Now, if they don't engage with it or even swipe past, it doesn't mean that they need to like or comment. But if literally 20 or 30% of people don't even swipe past it, Instagram instantly drop that post. Because if you've got a fake account with 90% or 80% fake followers, then you're never going to get past that 20, 30% threshold of your followers seeing the content. It's kind of like a test that Instagram do to see if it's worth putting onto the explore page. So this is why it's super important to do the warm-up as well. So within the first 20 minutes to 30 minutes normally, that you're going to be able to hit that 20 to 30% of your followers have either seen or they've liked or they've commented, and then it will release that post to the rest of your followers. If you're not getting this right, this is why sometimes that you post and just none of your followers will see it. If you use the story interactions that I told you before, this will trigger it so then more people will initially see it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people doing this course who've got 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers, for example, and they literally get 1 or 2 likes and they just get no views on their content at all. And this is because you're not getting past the 20 to 30%. So by putting everything that I've mentioned into practice, you'll go into the 30% part, and then Instagram will start showing that to more people. But you've got to put the effort in to be able to get that to more than 30 people. And this is very common with old profiles. So people who have been posting for many years, or if they've changed and their followers have got quite bored in terms of what they're doing. Because once people skip past your profile a lot, that's it. Instagram will just stop showing your content to them. So then you've got to teach the algorithm again and show the algorithm why you should be shown to that person again. So 20% to get past the test. Make sure that you do this. Otherwise, your posts are dead in the water. So one thing I want to mention, which is actually extra, this has recently come out, as I was mentioning before, about the skip rate. But now Instagram have brought something out where not just the average watch time is important, but the actual skip rate. So this means when somebody gets on, like goes through the feed, it might be on their actual feed, it might be on the explore page, it might be on the reels, wherever they are. If people instantly see it and within the first couple of seconds they skip past, this is a big metric that Instagram are using as well. It's very similar to the average watch time. So bear in mind, have a look at that as well. And if you've got a really high skip rate, your hooks are really not good enough. So go back, redo the hooks again, and then you should be able to get around that. But just as the average watch time, make sure that you are doing really, really well with the skip rate, something to bear in mind. Okay, so to finish off this module 1, key takeaways and action plan. As I said, don't binge these courses. After this one, go away, put some things into practice like the stories that I've mentioned, have a look at your statistics and insights, and then come back and go to the next module. As you can see here, I'm not going to go through all of them. You can read these in your spare time, but go through each one, put all these into practice, and I guarantee you will see changes from day 1. Please record and check out everything before you started to implement my strategies and after my strategies as well. So you can have a look at how much they're going to help you increase your engagement, your following, and then eventually more money from your profile as well. So congratulations, we completed the first module, and now we're going to move on to the second one. So put all this into practice, and I'll see you in module 2.